Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea news, Chelsea transfer news, Chelsea everything. Lots to talk about, lots of little different stories that are popping up. But I think the most important story that we need to touch base on and elaborate about, and I would love to, like always, see what you guys have to say in the comment section. We need to talk about Andrey Santos, ladies and gentlemen, and actually have a civilized conversation, a logical, rational conversation about this player. We're going to go through the news very, very soon. The news is pretty simple. They're throwing all sorts of masala, rumors, all sorts of ingredients, spices to make us believe that there is a little bit of tension. There are suitors out there that are monitoring him, and there could be a possibility that he might want to leave or Chelsea might want to sell him. Now, all of these stories, there's some legs. There's definitely some legs behind it. And I always say, wherever there is a little bit of smoke, there is always a little bit of fire. Now, before we get into, get talking about that fire in depth, let's talk about the player. The player is a talented player. We all know that. Everyone knows that. You know that. I know that. Andrey Santos is an extremely talented footballer. He had his breakthrough season at Strasbourg last season, and he feels, he's ready. He feels like he wants to be a very important factor of a team. And there are some big teams that are coming for him, notably Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich, I mean, I could picture Andrey Santos wanting to be at Bayern Munich and be the linchpin over there. So he ain't coming to, as much as us Chelsea fans, we want to believe that, look, he's got to earn his spot, this, that, the other. The problem is he's not at that level anymore. He's not here to prove anyone anything anymore. He's proven. I feel like, believes, I've proven, and I'm ready to kick on in my life. And that's not a bad way to think about it from his perspective. I mean, if this was, let's say, Dario Sugo demanding to be a starter, then he could be like, all right, calm down, fella. Andrey Santos has done his work experience, basically, and he's done it in flying colors. So we know the player is fantastic. From our side, we've got Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Romeo Lavia. These are the main three, right? These are the main three. Now, what the media is also trying to paint the picture is that Andrey Santos is very limited to only substitute Enzo Fernandez. He cannot take over Caicedo's position or Romeo Lavia, whenever and if he does play, right? Andrey Santos is the direct replacement for Enzo Fernandez, and that makes the whole situation even tougher. Already, you're finding it difficult to get game time. And on top of that, if you're only limited to one player, that player is very important. Enzo Fernandez has been doing so well for Chelsea Football Club over the past 12 months. It's very difficult to dislodge Enzo Fernandez right now and be the number one player. Now, so Chelsea have a conundrum. It's clear, and whether we like it or not, we can sit here and argue till the cows come home. But the truth of the matter is, we've got an excellent player that's wanting to start immediately, and we've got extremely good midfield and depth as well that is incapable of giving him the minutes he wants. Now, you're right. Next season, we're going to have a lot of games. We're going to have Champions League. We're going to have, Premier League, of course, obviously, domestic cups and whatnot. And, you might be sitting there going, Andrey Santos, you will get your game time. Andrey Santos is not about you will get your game time. He's about I want to be an important player. That's the conundrum here. He wants to be Enzo Fernandez. He wants to be Enzo Fernandez, and he wants Enzo Fernandez to take the bench. And we're going to go through the news. Lots of stuff about people saying that, he's potentially going to be a squad player. He doesn't want to be a squad player. So this is the conundrum, ladies and gentlemen. This is a conundrum. It's a volatile situation. It's a situation that we do need to monitor over this summer window. We've got Benfica coming up in the Club World Cup next round. I don't think Andrey Santos starts. Enzo Fernandez, history with Benfica, he will start. And as soon as Enzo Fernandez starts, Andrey Santos will take the bench because he's not going to be taking Caicedo's position or Romeo Lavia's position if they do play. Caicedo will play because Enzo Maresca doesn't see him in those positions or doing that role. Forget about the position, carrying out that role. Even though Andrey Santos can definitely do that, Enzo Maresca doesn't picture that. Now, you could have a problem with the manager. You could have the problem with the club. No problems. Do you know what I mean? You can have the problem, but no problems. Look, the bottom line is there's a lot of stuff that they're saying in social media as well, club briefings, that, Enzo Maresca is just taking his time. He feels that Andrey Santos needs a little bit more training sessions to gel in. Yeah, there is an adaptability, time of adaptability, of course, but Andrey Santos is a very, very good player. There's so many other players that have gone to their new clubs and they've started straight away. What happened to adaptability then? So look, it's a volatile situation. We'll monitor what happens next, but I won't be surprised if he does get sold. Yes, it will hurt. You'd want to build a squad based on these quality footballers. You want to have a squad full of excellent players. But sometimes this is what happens. A lot of you guys have said, when you stockpile good talent, young talent, this is what's going to happen. They're not going to want to stick around. Now, this is coming from Ben Jacobs. Andrey Santos is attracting interest from several clubs, including Bayern Munich. We've always known this. Santos would likely have to agitate for a move to happen, as Chelsea do not wish to sell. Santos is expected to get more opportunities once he has acclimatized. So this is what they're trying to sell to us now, that he needs to acclimatize, which, yeah, it makes sense. But he's too much of a good player to not get good amount of time. And look, that's Andrey Santos's perspective, right? We understand why he's not getting the minutes, because we've got too much quality and depth in that midfield. Coming from Nizak Kinsella, Andrey Santos is attracting significant interest from other clubs. Before we go to Jamie Gittens. So look, this is the scenario right now. There are other clubs that are sniffing around, that are circling, and they feel like they can smell blood, and they're ready to pounce. So what Chelsea does from here on, we shall see. Look, you cannot be going into next season thinking, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Romeo Lavia, Esugu, and Andrey Santos as 5 midfielders. You're going to get rid of KDH most likely. And if you don't get rid of him, oh my God, you're going to get rid of Ugochukwu. Andrey Santos being one of the midfielders out of the 5, it's not, you're limiting game time. It's not as much as game time that he would desire. So let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think the future of Andrey Santos is? What does your gut feeling say? I would love to hear it, and your rational point of view as well. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Gittens to Chelsea is at final stages. Dortmund are now working on replacement. Coming from Fabrizio Romano. Look, he's going to be a Chelsea player. Let's hope for the best. I've said what I've had to say about Jamie Gittens. I don't think he makes us title contenders. He's got a lot to improve, but I hope he turns out to be a great player for us. I truly do. I hope he turns out to be that Cole Palmer kind of that story. I hope he can provide a lot of goals and assists for us from the wings area. And I wish him all the best. He's going to be a Chelsea player. There's no two ways about that. He really wants to be a Chelsea player as well. We want him as well. So we now need to appreciate. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Estevao wants to play as number 10. Chelsea are exploring forward. So, look, we've heard this number 10 business for a while. He loves coming into central areas. From the matches that I've seen of Palmeiras so far, he loves to drift from the right, coming to central areas. When he's on the left, he does stick to that line of that left because, he's a left footer. But when he's on the right, he starts from wide right and then he angles into central areas where he starts looking very dangerous. And that in itself could be a number 10 type of a play. I highly doubt he's just going to be centrally located just behind the striker and play as a number 10. I think in the Premier League, having your back against the defenders, you're probably going to get done. So, but it could be a policy where he might predominantly take up central areas a lot more. And this is probably why we saw Cole Palmer being tried and experimented against Flamengo to be as wide right as possible. So watch this space. How do we integrate Cole Palmer, Estevao, all in the same team? Estevao is going to be an important factor. He's a talented footballer. There's no two ways about it. He definitely needs to come to the Premier League and adapt a little bit initially. I don't expect him to just start immediately for us. Physicality shouldn't be a problem because in Brazil, oh my God, you've seen the physicality so far in the Club World Cup. So I don't think that will be an issue. It's just more about the culture, the weather, the language, the food, all of that. It's going to take a little bit of time. He is a young player, man. He's only 18, so that might take a little bit of time. And then eventually enough, I'm pretty sure he's going to be an important factor for Chelsea. I think Chelsea owners want him to be an important factor. Let's see what the manager can do with a player like Estevao, who's so talented. And, I guess having Andrey Santos, and this is the other thing, I hope Chelsea can keep Andrey Santos because you can build the future Brazilian stars in the likes of Santos and Estevao. You can build something at Chelsea Football Club with these two key components that may become down the track for Brazil. So I think from that perspective as well, it's imperative that you are able to keep these type of players. Joao Felix is drawing interest from Neom FC in Saudi Arabia. Look, for Joao Felix, from here on in, it's only a decline. That's all I see. He's not worked out in so many clubs. He hasn't worked out at Chelsea again the second time around. He's gone to AC Milan. It's not worked out there either. There were rumors about him Galatasaray. I don't know whether that's happening. There were rumors about Benfica. I still think he might end up at Benfica, where it all started for him. Saudi, I don't know. I don't know whether Saudis will pay. I'm pretty sure Saudis will pay the salary and the transfer fee for us, but it's more the fact, is Joao Felix going to leave to go to Saudi? I mean, he will leave, but is he going to opt for Saudi? That is the big question. But let's watch this space. We got a lot of players that need to leave the football club, and I think that in itself is just as important in terms of bringing players in. The players that need to go, it's huge for us. We need to trim down the squad. We need to get rid of players that are not part of the plan moving forward. As I said, it's just as important as bringing in new players. Chelsea aren't forcing Madueke or Jackson out, and both would command big fees. Look, yeah, maybe they might stick around. We are already short in the wing space. Madueke might stick around for another season until we, you get Cuenda the season after. And Jackson, whether we get another striker or not, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe we won't get another striker, which means we need to stick around with Jackson. It just doesn't give me the belief that Jackson and Dilap, as a fan, I'd love to see Chelsea Football Club compete for the Premier League and the Champions League next season, but you ain't going to do that with Dilap and Jackson. Not now. Definitely not with Jackson. Dilap, yeah, down the track, he will become a superstar of a striker, no problems, but Dilap still has a lot of work to do. And that strike force of Dilap and Jackson, it's undercooked. It's definitely undercooked. We've already seen what Jackson is capable of. Yes, Dilap gives us a lot of hope, but he's not ready as yet. He's not ready. And Madueke, we know what we're going to get with Madueke, but we're short in numbers in the wings. Even if you do get Gittens, which we are, you do need to keep Madueke, I feel. The only way you're getting rid of Madueke is if you're bringing in another new winger. If we bring in another new winger, which we are somewhat linked with, then I can see Madueke go. But we shall see. We shall see what happens. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Emi Martinez is not a target for Chelsea. There were some rumors that were circulating around that Emi Martinez might be. Look, I don't expect. Emi Martinez is a good keeper. He's a good shot stopper, but I don't think he's that good on the ball. I feel he's also another one of those goalkeepers that's capable of making some critical mistakes. So I don't think this is too possible. I feel like this definitely is a bit too far-fetched. Even though there are rumors that he wants to stick around. Emi Martinez wants to stick around in the Premier League. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be Chelsea Football Club. That's my thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your feelings, your comments. Put them down in the comment section. Everything we spoke about, especially about Andrey Santos. I'd love to see what you guys have to say about the situation that's brewing in regards to Andrey Santos. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, take care. See ya.